want to tell you a story about a friend of mine. His name is Gary, and Gary is a Gnome. You know what a Gnome is?
No. Yeah.
This is a Gnome. His name is Gary, and Gary is a Gnome. Gnomes are very small. Most Gnomes live in maybe a garden. How many of you have a Gnome outside your house?
It's a gnome, isn't it?
A Gnome. There's a G.
I thought it was gnome.
You thought it was gnome?
It is.
That's in Alaska. This is a gnome. G-N-O-M-E. Gnome. No, you're right. It is gnome. I was saying it wrong. This is Gary the gnome. And most gnomes do live in gardens. Some people, they live outside their houses and stuff. But this is Gary the gnome. And Gary the gnome has a castle. This is Gary the gnome's castle. Matter of fact, his castle is so cool that it has a sunroof. It has a patio upstairs that he sits and he basks in the sun. And he can look out from the castle top all over the kingdom. It's pretty cool. Gary loves his castle. And Gary the gnome will sit up there every day and just look out on the land. But there's also another fellow in our story. He's a mean old nasty ogre of a giant. And this is him right here. Now, the giant, he has something that he loves. He loves a delicacy. He loves food. His favorite delicacy is fried gnome. Fried gnome sandwiches. Yeah. And Gary, he's a little worried about the giant. And but not too worried because he's way up here in the top of the castle. The giant can't get to him. But he knows that as long as the giant's outside the castle, he can never come outside the castle because the giant's out there. He's afraid to leave the castle. Have you ever been afraid? How do you get over being afraid? One of the ways you get over being afraid, especially of a bully or somebody bigger than you, is by having more confidence. And you gain more confidence by the fact that somebody helps build you up. Somebody encourages you. And the more you're encouraged, the more you're strengthened, the more you're able to face the problems that come along, the giants that might come along in life. Well, Gary needs some encouragement. So I want you guys to help me out. I want y'all to let Gary know that he's a strong guy, that he's a good guy, and that he can overcome his problems. So on the count of 3, I want you all to shout out something really encouraging to Gary, okay? Something positive to Gary to make him feel like he can overcome the problems that life is throwing at him. 1, 2, 3.
You're a good guy. You're awesome.
You know, those are the kind of things that cause a person to grow and grow and grow and grow. And because of that, Gary the Gnome can now stand tall because you've encouraged him and strengthened him and made him feel good about himself and feel strong and confident. And now he doesn't have to worry about the giant. Now that mean old giant, he sees what's going on and he's like, wait a minute. He was up in the castle and he went all the way up to the top of the castle. So I'm going to go all the way to the top of the castle and I'll get even bigger than him. So he goes in the castle and he climbs all the way up top and he gets all the way up to the top where the sun patio is. And you know what? There's nobody encouraging him because he's a mean old bully. And mean old bullies don't need to be encouraged. Matter of fact, mean old bullies need to learn their place in life and need to realize that when we are self-confident, we can face any giant that comes along. The Word of God also tells us that greater is God that is in us than the giants we face in the world. And that's Gary the Gnome.